Today I'm going to talk about a very important topic here. So first we're going to discuss about what is potential energy, right? So then we're going to discuss about potential energy and absolute gravitational potential energy. So let's just discuss first what is potential energy, right? Now here the question arises that what is potential energy? So for a while consider that there is no term such like potential energy exists. We said the more appropriate definition of potential energy is change in potential energy. Change in potential energy is the amount of work done. Potential energy is amount of work done by conservative force. Now, what does this definition mean? Let's just analyze it one by one, each and every sentence, so that we get the actual concept behind it, right? So we gonna take a pen and I'm gonna explain you. Potential energy, such term like potential energy never exists. We always see change in potential energy, which is minus u, or we could say that minus u is equals to work done, which means that the work is done by the next change in potential energy. Actually, change in potential is the amount of work done by a conservative force, right? Now, I'm going to discuss about what is conservative first. Before that, I'm going to tell you that so the change in potential energy is equal to this formula you need to keep in your mind while dealing with each and every uh, problem or a key concept while solving the chemistry because it's something that is more frequently applied with there, right? This formula there, right? So now we're going to talk about what is conservative forces. All the gravitational forces, all the field forces are actually we could say that for the yeah it's conservative, right? Conservative nature. Conservative nature, right? It does not depend upon the path through which path will it follows. For instance, I have an option, or I'm going to give you an example. Field forces like gravitational force. I would talk about other forces like elastic, or not talk about it's like gravitational force. We have electric potential, gravitational force. We have an example. Then we're going to take the example of electrostatic force, magnetic force, and a lot of examples. These all are the field forces. I might get confused with energy that I'm discussing here on as well, right? So all the field forces are actually a conservative in nature. Non-conservative, there only one force that's yes, there are a lot of examples as well, but the one force that I know is non-conservative on my level is frictional force because here the waste of energy takes place, right? Energy gets waste. Okay, so friction is a non-conservative force. It's not a conservative force, it's a non-conservative force. For a while, considering this case of friction, so everything that we deal here is without friction on a nuclear base. The friction that is acting on the particle or the body is negligible, right? So, uh, let's discuss the key concept. Let's just draw a picture so that it will be more clear to us. So what is potential energy? Potential is the negative work done by a conservative force, right? So let's draw a picture here. For instance, this is a ground surface, right? This is a ground surface. Taking this ball. First of all, this ball was placed here, and after a while, it just goes to this position, right? So what's the reason behind it, right? So when the ball was present at this position, when the ball was there at this position, the force of gravity acting in a downward direction, however it acts on all the on the stage, whether it's here, and here, right? So this is the initial height. When a ball goes to this height, it covers some vertical distance that is HF, right? So as you can see there here that the force acting downward where displacement taking place in upper direction. So we can say that work done is equals to, right? So or not considering work done, we could say that M is a mass, G is a gravity acting upon it, and H is a height, right? And height we have here, the height factor that we involve here is final minus initial, right? So this is HF minus HI, right? So this is HF minus AHI factor, right? So I'm just drawing a bracket here, which is equals to H, right? Because it's just it reaches a certain height, then we're gonna take this factor. Let's just move a bit down so that we can explain further reaction. Not further reaction, but further contact, right? Okay, Hmm. So where I was? Yeah, I was here. So actually, what happens here is that mgh, when it comes with negative sign. Now, what is by negative sign? As I told you, that guys, there's a force acting in a downward direction with decreasing in upward direction. As a result, the angle between both of them is 180 degree, and cos 180 is equals to minus 1, right? So this is the main reason behind the negative sign here. So what's the potential energy? The terms like potential energy never exist. It's basically a change in work, potential change in potential is the amount of work done by conservative forces, right? So now I want to focus here on the pictures that Mike can explain it. For instance, this is a ball here. For a while, consider the ball is at this position. It has certain height, right? So here the potential energy is maximum because it has height. When the ball goes down, it the potential energy as a height decreases, potential energy decreases, velocity increases, as a eventually kinetic energy increases, while the potential energy will be zero. Now talking about the potential energy raised object because it has height. Dynamite on the surface is not basically possesses but potential energy, but when it reaches a certain height, it possesses potential energy. As a result, there's drawn bow, and this catches springs, and there's battery, of course. Right. So all potential. What is potential energy? Potential energy is basically a stored energy. For instance, your battery or your charges, everything, it stores energy, right? When it stores energy, it's a form of potential energy, and when it gets used up or discharged, it's this kinetic energy, right? So this is basically a phenomena. Potential energy change is a amount of work done by conservative forces. Negative amount of work done by conservative forces, right?